Have you ever asked the question to God, please send somebody else? God, it cannot be me. I'm the opposite of Isaiah. Isaiah said, God, here I am, send me. I'm not really like that all the time. If God has a task or a project in front of me, I'm usually the first one to be like, not I, send somebody else. I'm kind of like Moses in that way, right? When God asked Moses to go to Egypt and to lead the Israelites out of captivity and into the promised land, Moses' response was, in verse 13, he says, God, pardon your servant, but you got to send somebody else. God had spent so much time trying to convince Moses, you can do this because I'll be with you, because I'll be your mouthpiece. I'll give you the words to say. I'll give you the strength. And still, Moses doubted. He drug his feet, and eventually it inspired a little bit of God's righteous anger. And I think this is a hard lesson for us to learn, but it's a reality that we have to face. Because what happens here next, Moses is worried about his speech impediment. He's worried about not being the right mouthpiece, the right person to carry out the project that God has in front of him. So Moses says, please send somebody else. Verse 14 in chapter 4 of Exodus says, then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, what about your brother, Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He's already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you. You shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak and will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were God to him. But take the staff in your hand so you can perform the signs with it. Now, God's sovereignty is something that I'll never fully be able to understand. It could be that God was always waiting for this moment to join together the efforts of Moses and Aaron and their brotherhood, use Moses and his ability to lead with the staff and perform the signs and the wonders, and use Aaron as this mouthpiece. But part of me wonders, man, God's going to accomplish his will. He's going to rescue the Israelites out of captivity. He is going to save people. He is going to accomplish revival in our world. He is going to perform signs and wonders and miracles. God is going to do what he wills to be done because he is God. So the invitation for us is we get to be a part of his ministry. We get to be a part of these miraculous signs and wonders. We get to be a part of seeing the gospel reaching people and getting to see people saved. We get to be a part of it. But a lot of times we back out, disqualify ourselves because we're worried that, one, we're not worthy of it, or two, we won't be able to help God accomplish the thing that he wills to be accomplished. Here's the harsh reality. God is going to do what he wills to do. He's going to do what he says he will do. He's inviting you to be a part of it. He's inviting me to be a part of it. But I think a lot of times we miss out on the blessing of being in God's ministry and in his works because we're like, God, send somebody else. It can't be me. It's got to be somebody else. And I think we miss out. Now, it's not that God's not going to get it done. God brought Aaron in to help Moses to get it done. But what if God wanted to work powerfully through Moses in a way that Moses didn't expect? What if this could have been a faith-building experience for Moses, where he could have experienced God's words moving through him, but he missed it because he was too scared? Or he missed it because he was too doubtful of his own weaknesses and insecurity? God is going to accomplish what he will. The question is, are you ready to receive the invitation to be a part of it? Or are we going to let our doubts and fears and insecurities keep us back, hold us back, and cause God to have to use somebody else?